In the headlines, fresh moves to restart banana shipments to the UK. All ties between Alerias Montferd and Dominica cut off a year ago, says Ministry of Foreign Affairs, and Police Welfare Association impatient over salary negotiations. I am Kenny Williams with the Channel 5 News, back with the details after this. Topping the news, the Ministry of Agriculture has announced that a new organization created by government will take charge of resuming exports to the United Kingdom market. It is called Banana Unit. This comes 2 years after importer Winfresh UK Limited suspended purchases of the fruit from Dominica while the island battled with the leaf spot disease Black Sigatoka. Minister for Agriculture Johnson Drygo said that the Banana Unit is presently being staffed.
We are about to establish a banana unit. One of the things that we want to be clear on is that in the past, the banana industry was managed by a special body, whether it was the DBMC, the DBGA, and so on. We are now establishing a unit which will technically replace these organizations that used to manage the sector, and will incrementally bring in more staff within that unit. But presently, we are rapidly looking at the European market. The unit staff, as we speak, they are going out, meeting core farmers, whom they will be assisting.
In 2015, government imported at least 20,000 disease-resistant banana plantlets of the Cavendish variety from France. Drygo said the ministry realized successful production output from these plants and will be assisting chosen farmers under the resumption of exports to the UK market.
We have provided mist blowers for the farmers in all of the areas where bananas and plantain are the core of their farmings, and we have made available oils at a very cheap rate for these farmers. This oil will be sold for just about $20 a gallon, and the purchase price for the oil is $48 a gallon, and we're going to be selling it to the farmers at $20 a gallon. We have also created a facility where the farmers can purchase their fertilizers at some of the stations. So a farmer can go to Casabros, he can go to Marigot, he can go to Portsmouth, or here at the Botanical Gardens, and he can purchase fertilizers at $45 a bag.
He encouraged farmers to stay on the forefront of defeating Black Sigatoka and says that initial export per farmer is projected to be 1 pallet of bananas per fortnight. Historically, Dominica has been served by various banana exporting organizations, including the Dominica Banana Marketing Corporation, or DBMC, and most recently, Dominica Agricultural Producers and Exporters Limited, DAPEX. A development funding agency official has warned the Ministry of Agriculture and Dominica's farmers to not waste the development resources provided. National Authorizing Officer for the European Development Fund, Caroline Roberts, was speaking on Wednesday at the handing over ceremony for the supply of equipment and supplies to the Ministry of Agriculture as part of production support post-Tropical Storm Erika.
With all this support, we need to see the production on the ground. It would not bode well for us that hard-earned European taxpayers' money has been invested and there is no improvement, no returns. The challenge now that the supplies of these 3 contracts are handed over, or will be handed over, is to ensure that you, the Ministry of Agriculture and Fisheries, especially the staff of the Division of Agriculture, convince the Dominican farmer and show the rest of our citizens that agriculture is the most important sector, economically, socially, and even politically.
She stated that Dominica's agricultural sector has room for becoming more productive and competitive.
Additionally, events like this one today reinforces our need to sit back, take stock, and reaffirm our commitment to harness these resources to make agriculture work towards the full benefit of our beautiful country. I encourage everyone to build on these resources, not only when donor funding is available or in times of disease or other crises, to encourage Dominicans to use all the existing lands, employ and empower the youth, practice sustainable agriculture to grow what we eat, and most importantly, to enhance productivity and competitiveness to increase agricultural exports to key markets. We all can make a difference.
Meantime, Agriculture Minister Johnson Drygo reaffirmed that the development of agriculture is everybody's business.
The ministry's strongest resolution is to continue to support farmers and build the soundest trajectory to grow both the sector and the national economy. To achieve this, though, everyone has to meaningfully contribute. To become part of this nationalistic agenda, to lay collective ownership to agriculture. This sector belongs to us. It has been our tradition, our way of life, a way by which we realize livelihood and a means to raise our families.
More top stories. The Ministry of Foreign Affairs has come out in strong defense of the country's Citizenship by Investment program following the recent arrest of a former holder of a Dominican diplomatic passport this month. Earlier this week, it was reported that Iranian-born Malaysian national Alirez Monferd was arrested in the Caribbean and extradited to Iran due to his involvement in what is described as that country's biggest corruption scandal, being accused of helping to embezzle billions of dollars while Iran evaded international sanctions. On Wednesday, Senior Counsel Tony Astafan explained that Monferd was issued a diplomatic passport in March 2015. However, after a review process, that passport was revoked in January 2016, and Monferd's diplomatic status had also been cancelled. A press release from the Ministry of Foreign Affairs dated 25th January states that in 2014, Alirez Ziba Halat Monferd, an Iranian businessman resident in Malaysia, became a citizen of Dominica under the Citizenship by Investment program. Prior to becoming a citizen, a comprehensive due diligence investigation was conducted in 2014 in respect of him by an internationally recognized U.S. due diligence firm as required by the relevant regulations. Mr. Monferd had expressed interest in sourcing business and investment opportunities for Dominica in that part of the world and was appointed ambassadorial rank with a diplomatic passport issued to him on 13th March 2015. The press release goes on to say that Mr. Monferd's diplomatic passport was recalled and cancelled, and all official ties with him were severed effective January 20, 2016, upon receiving information that he may be a person of interest to authorities. According to the press release, a consultant has since been engaged to review and advise on best practices and an appropriate policy for adoption by Cabinet. The Ministry of Foreign Affairs expects to receive the consultancy report by June 2017 at the end of the exercise. In more news, health authorities are strengthening their hand at reducing the mosquito population by developing a mosquito control strategic framework. This as Dominica hosted a second national consultation on vector-borne diseases Thursday. PAHO advisor based in Barbados, Sally Edwards, is assisting the Ministry of Health in this regard. She says an intersectoral approach and community participation is needed to combat the mosquito diseases.
This consultation to develop a mosquito control strategic framework which addresses the epidemiological and entomological concerns through fostering greater collaboration and participation in addressing mosquito-borne diseases will address all mosquito-borne diseases. So we're not looking at the past, we're looking to the future and trying to prevent some of them coming. It will reduce the threat of emerging and re-emerging mosquito-borne diseases of public health significance, some of which we know about, some of which we do not yet know about, and reduce the economic burden on Dominica.
Meantime, Parliamentary Secretary Ivor Stevenson says the impact of vector-borne diseases, including chikungunya and Zika from 2013 to 2015, was a major financial burden on the country's healthcare system.
Our healthcare system was overwhelmed with increased patient visits to the clinics and the hospital. Absenteeism increased both in the public and private sector. And as a result of impacts of these diseases on human health, productivity decreased. Business and governments were required to bear the enormous associated costs as a result. The government provided over $1 million to combat these public health threats in 2015, added to other resources. There was also an injection of increased funds into the 2016 budget to accelerate our preventive plans.
You are watching Channel 5 News. More when we return. Welcome back. The Police Welfare Association is awaiting an invitation from government's negotiating team to discuss its proposals re-salary negotiations for the period 2015 to 2018. President of the association, Constable Jefferson Drago, says it is yet to commence negotiations with government since submitting its October 10, 2016 proposal.
And the men, I can tell you, they're getting impatient. They're getting impatient, things are getting expensive, and so on. We got a response early in December from government stating that they're reviewing our proposal. We are in a triennium 2015 to 2018, and we're already in 2017. And some say we're already in 2017, and the government have not called us to negotiate the salaries, and we're waiting. But we're appealing to them to come to the table. Let's talk. Let's discuss the salary.
He adds that the Welfare Association's proposal is well thought out.
We have asked for 15% for the triennium 2015 to 2018. In addition to that, we are asking government for an overtime allowance for all police officers. And we are also asking for a risk allowance round the board. You will see of late the risks that have been involved with the job. And finally, one of the major highlights, we are asking for a national security allowance for the SSU, because we haven't got an army here, and the police has to do the job of the army plus the job of the police. And you can see the job of the SSU is extremely difficult, and also the job of the Marine base, very risky. We did research. We didn't just come and just present it. For now, we are just waiting on the membership. We're waiting on the government. After we meet government, then we meet the membership and we discuss a way forward.
The Catholic community of Portsmouth can rest assured that they will likely relocate to their earthquake-resistant church building by mid-year. The 150-year-old Roman Catholic church building was destroyed by an earthquake in 2004. Reverend Father Herman Chapless says they're putting the finishing touches on the construction project, which began 4 years ago.
We are twinning with a parish in Piqua, Ohio. They too are assisting us in that process. And on our own fundraising effort and writing to various church agencies for funding, that has brought us to where we are. And as we work towards completion, we work at various fronts because we have a lot of just, we have the electricals to complete, we have the tiling, the sound system, the ceiling and windows and doors, so that we can bring it to total completion.
The strength of the building to further earthquakes has also been taken into consideration.
And I think that's where most of the funding went in the foundation, because we had to do it because Portsmouth is a earthquake belt, and so we had to take all that into consideration. We had all the experts to come, test the ground, and so there's tons of concrete and steel in that foundation. And so I think that is what gives hope that the building is going to be there for a long time, so that anything of magnitude of the one that brought down the first church, that won't be able to withstand that kind of shake.
Masses and services are being held in the neighboring church chapel while the church has been under construction. Every now and again, special masses are moved to the main church building. Chaplain says he expects they won't have to wait year-end to permanently relocate to the main building.
We are hoping that maybe mid this year we can do that, even though we're not able to get everything done, because people are really looking forward to coming into the church. The initial was 1.5 million, but by the time we have completed it, we'll certainly go beyond 2 million, because it's the whole venture is very expensive, and we did not have the resources to do it in one go. So every time we stop, and it takes a lot of time, then of course the bills go up, things get more expensive. Our target is close to about maybe 700,000 or so. Estimating, taking everything into consideration. It could be that and even probably more.
Next up, a business place which was gutted by fire earlier this month will still be making its contribution to Dominica's Carnival celebrations this year. Andrea Louis explains.
Memory Lane Disco in Portsmouth was destroyed by a fire on the night of Friday, 13th January 2017. However, owner of the establishment, Glenmore John Baptist, told a recent press conference of the Dominica Festivals Committee that Memory Lane is still able to participate in Mass Dominic 2017.
One of the events that was carried for that area is the Cooler Fete on the 29th, which is Sunday coming. And a lot of people would have believed or thought, well, you know, in the midst of turbulence that we would have to abort mission. But I believe, like I said, we are still here and life goes on. So we have the Memory Lane also has a courtyard which can host major activities. It's a very big place and it's right on the beach. So the program of the Cooler Fete will proceed as planned.
Meantime, International Artists Night, which has been absent from the Carnival calendar for some time now, will return on February 3rd at the Eddie Andre Carnival City in Portersville.
Next week, Friday, International Artists Night, we have international soca artist Ricardo Drew. We have international reggae artist Daville. We have international Booyah boss Asa Bantan. We have international band Triple K International, and of course, yours truly, Major Mystic. We are going to be descending to Carnival City for International Artists Night. It's going to be a night to remember.
Marketing executive with the Discover Dominica Authority, Daphne Vidal, also took the opportunity to inform the public on the increased methods of access into Dominica for the Carnival celebrations.
There are Liat flights available between the 12th of February and the end of February on Liat from Antigua, Barbados and Pointe-à-Pitre. There are also flights available on Win Air from St. Martin and in Northern Caribbean, and also on Air Antilles from Martinique. The flight arrives on Saturdays and Mondays. And there is also space on the ferry from Guadeloupe and Martinique from February 23rd to the 25th. So persons can come on to Dominica for the International Artists Night, which will be before, and there is definitely space available for the International Artists Night on February 3rd.
The official opening parade for Mass Dominic 2017 is scheduled for Saturday, 4th February. Andrea Louis, Channel 5 News.
As we wrap up, we can tell you that for the first time ever, 8-time Calypso King Dice performed at the Stardom Calypso tent on Wednesday night. Dice was invited to attend Stardom tent as part of its Royalty Night edition in his capacity as the reigning Calypso King. Dice is a member of the Showdown Mass Camp Calypso tent and has never performed on a Stardom stage. He performed his first release Calypso for the year, among other of his hits.
Flowers is what we have to give. To citizens, government did not honor because of what they believe. And whereas the nation could always count on your honest opinion. Ozzy Lewis, the people of the air, ask me to deliver this bouquet. Flowers to you, sir, before you go away.
That's news, sports highlights, next. First up, a consecutive 9-year sponsorship continued on Thursday as the National Bank of Dominica, in collaboration with the Sports Division, launched the 2017 NBD Primary Schools Football Championships. NBD sponsored the event to the tune of $15,000. In her address, Honorable Justina Charles encouraged the youngsters to take advantage of this opportunity of self-development.
The National Bank of Dominica is ensuring that you can participate by making that money available. And if they are doing that, you need to take the sport seriously. You need to see it as investing, helping you to grow as positive young boys. So we really need to show them that we want them to continue every year. And it's because of what they've seen in the program, because of the potential that they've seen in you, that is why they continue to give us that support year after year.
Meantime, Charles says the lighting of some playing fields in Dominica began on Thursday.
The Solaris is on island to begin the lighting of some of our playing fields, 26th of January. We will see the lighting at Tibor to begin from today, hopefully. Vehicles in the next 5 days, we should hit vehicles. Then the Jolly John Park, and the Lapland playing field and the Grand Bay playing field. So to begin, we will do the 5 playing fields at a cost of over $700,000 to the government of Dominica. So we will be lighting those playing fields to ensure, and the lotteries commission.
St. Luke's Primary topped the Southwest Zone with 6 points, while Newtown Primary came second, also with 6 points, but second on goal difference. The third place went to St. Mary's Primary. The games continue on Friday. On to basketball, where Lubomir Kotlba, advisor to the Secretary General of the International Basketball Federation, FIBA, says the limited investment in the sport here is hindering its growth. Kotlba is on a 3-day visit to Dominica to meet with players, coaches and referees in order to help improve on the basketball product.
The economy is very small. The country is very small, not able to produce enough resources. When the government has the resources, they go to healthcare, schooling, fighting unemployment, infrastructure, and all these issues which are very close to everybody's citizens' heart. And then if a little money are left, then of course it goes or should go to sport and culture.
He says this is where he hopes FIBA could come in to assist in that venture.
So in this direction, the federation is highly limited even to secure enough balls, playing courts, equipment. This is generally where we feel we should give a support to the federation.
Kotlba thinks that a larger pool of players, an indoor facility, and having a DABA office space should help move the sport forward.
In order to be better, they must have much brighter base of the players. The number of the players they have is very limited. If I remember well, it's about, 300 players. They need one indoor court. They desperately need one indoor court because your weather conditions are highly limiting people playing. In order for the federation to be on at least a basic level, they must have a own office. Whatever office is, can be one room, federation doesn't have.
Despite the limitations, he thinks those in charge of basketball development here are doing a very good job. Kotlba's 3-day visit ends on Friday, after which he will send an official report to the DABA. Back with more football, Ray Charles Point Michelle, Digicel Newtown Juvenile Academy, Harlem United, and Police Sports Club registered wins in action from the DFA Division 1 League on Wednesday. According to a DFA report, Randolph Peltier registered a hat-trick for Harlem to help his team crush Trafalgar FC 8-0. Zion Emmanuel scored a brace with one each coming from Fitzjolly, Elwin Jean-Louis, and Terrell Grell. In another match, Dante Kazemi registered a hat-trick for Point Michelle when they edged out Malta Carib Bath Estate FC 3-2. Marcellus Booney and Marvin LeBlanc scored for Bath Estate. In another match, Police SC defeated St. Mary's Cooperative Credit Union Delton United 2-0. Anthony James and Abishi Matthew converted for Police. The league continues on Friday between Andy Williams Spartans and Gully Dream Team at Pori, while at Portersville it will be an RC Doctors versus Dublin FC encounter. Both matches start at 6 p.m. The Flow Premier Division game carded for Friday will be between Middleham United and Waukee Rollers at Dublin from 6 in the evening. Meantime, Judah Xavier of Petro Caribe Point Michel football team has recently been issued a 5-match ban by the Disciplinary Committee of the Dominica Football Association. According to the DFA, Xavier was disciplined following an incident which occurred on December 11, 2016 in the Exodus versus Petro Caribe Point Michel match. Sports continues with this item where Northeast Comprehensive A, the Portsmouth and Isaiah Thomas Secondary A teams, along with Goodwill Secondary, won their respective matches in the Sports Division Secondary Schools Netball Championships on Wednesday. In the NECS A versus Portsmouth Secondary B, NECS defeated PSS B 35-2. Janella Phillips scored 12 and Etheline Telemac 14 for NECS. Kitano Simon scored 2 for PSS. In another match, PSS A beat NECS B 29-5. For PSS, Denise George got 16 and Janella Luis 13. Elsewhere, we had ITSS under-14 team beating St. John's Academy 29-3, Jennifer Joseph 15 and Grace Vidal 13 for ITSS. Convent High School B lost to Goodwill Secondary under-14 4-13 and Wesley High School lost to CHS A 8-15. That's all the sporting highlights for now. I am Kenny Williams. Join us next time. Now for the weather forecast.
Good evening, viewers. Welcome to tonight's weather broadcast. I am Janelle Macpherson. Infrared satellite imagery today showed some low-level clouds across the Leeward Islands today. Visible satellite imagery showed fair to partly cloudy skies across Dominica this afternoon. Radar imagery indicated some scattered showers mainly across the Leeward Islands this afternoon. The weather for tonight, fair to partly cloudy and occasionally breezy with a few brief scattered showers. These conditions are expected to continue into tomorrow, with temperatures peaking up to 30 degrees Celsius. Seas tomorrow slight to moderate in open water, waves peaking up to 2 meters or up to 7 feet. Looking ahead for the next 3 days, tomorrow fair to partly cloudy skies. By late Friday into Saturday, weak unstable conditions are expected to result in mostly cloudy skies and scattered showers. A relative improvement in conditions is expected by Sunday. Breezy conditions will also be evident throughout the 3-day period. Throughout the Caribbean tomorrow, fair to partly cloudy skies and some brief scattered showers are expected across the island chain. On the international cities forecast, fair conditions are expected in New York, Caracas and Beijing. Partly cloudy conditions with scattered showers expected in Miami and cloudy skies expected for the City of London. The sun will rise tomorrow at 6:35 a.m. and set at 6:01 p.m. For up-to-date weather information, please visit our website at weather.gov.dm or call the weather hotline at 447-5555. Thank you for viewing and have a good night.
To end the news, the headlines again. Fresh moves to restart banana shipments to the UK. All ties between Ali Reyes Montford and Dominica cut off a year ago, says Ministry of Foreign Affairs, and Police Welfare Association impatient over salary negotiations. Feel free to contact us at news@marpin2k4.com. You can also access our past newscasts on our YouTube channel. On behalf of the entire production team, I am Kenny Williams. To all viewers around the world, thank you for watching. Join us tomorrow.